Switching gears, and our next guest, we are very familiar with the Jam, another part of our Jam family, Howard Ankin, discuss some of the legal things that people are facing during this time. Good morning, sir.
Howard, how are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
How many of those books behind you have you actually read? I haven't know.
These books I've actually read. The ones that I got rid of are the ones that, they get stored there. It's a lifetime of collection. This is the home office.
How
you holding up during all this?
Yeah.
It's been very, trying times, I guess. I got 70, 80 people that work for me that rely on me. So it's been difficult.
Are you taking like legal meetings with people? Are you taking like Zoom meetings like this because obviously no one's filing anything right now. So how is that working for you?
I haven't done a Zoom meeting yet, but you're on the telephone all day long. There's a lot of like these type of meetings are by Zoom, like lawyer type meetings that you may go to a conference room or something for. But the client meetings are really still by phone.
What are the major legal issues you're anticipating coming up as a result of COVID-19?
Well, the commission just issued an order a couple days ago where they made an emergency amendment. Basically, anybody that's a first responder or anybody that's considered a crucial worker that's been working, if they get COVID, they're entitled to get benefits under the law. So for workers' compensation, they could get all their medical bills paid, 2/3 of their salary paid while they're off of work, and permanency award if they have any permanent injury from the COVID.
So is that something that your office can handle?
That's something that we're definitely handling at this time. I represent a lot of people that are that work at hospitals around the area. Actually just talked to one of the union presidents from one of the major locals of people that are supplying or helping with labor at the hospitals that I was talking to about this first thing this morning.
What about CTA bus drivers and people that work for public services?
Yeah, so everybody that drives a bus, people that are keeping the airports open, people that are working at grocery stores, delivering our mail. Well, that'd be a federal worker, but anybody that's integral as far as keeping society moving, all are going to be able to get workers' compensation benefits if they contract a COVID injury.
Oh, wow.
How hard is it as an attorney with so much of this law, up in the air, maybe not written yet? We're waiting, and every new day, maybe we get new pieces of legislation, more pieces of information. I imagine you and your team do a lot of research on every new aspect of this thing as it comes through.
So it's like every day, every week is a new law, new thing coming down. A couple weeks ago, it was almost day by day where there was new edicts coming down from the courthouse. Is the courthouse going to be open, not open? What are the rules as far as if you have an emergency? How does that work as far as a case goes? If you file a lawsuit, how do you get service of process? These were all, day-to-day things that we were learning over time. And then, once the courthouse opens back up, I'm sure there's going to be, more day-to-day rules as to, how things are handling. In general, there's basically 3 areas of law as it relates to injury cases where we're getting information day by day. So one is, from the Workers' Compensation Commission that oversees work injuries. And for that, we just got authority a couple days ago with this emergency amendment that's making sure that it's a rebuttable presumption that if you contract COVID, that it's work-related. Second, in terms of hospitals or people that provide medical services, the governor basically said that there was not going to be any, unless there was a willful and wanton action that was taken, we weren't going to have like medical malpractice cases for the month of April. And then third, in the terms of the employment arena, the federal government has weighed in on special FMLA benefits that are provided to workers, such as being able to receive 2/3 of your salary while you're off work if you have special child care, taking care of somebody that has COVID or has other certain special problems during this time.
Oh, wow.
How would they even determine, like if there's a frontline worker, how would they even determine if they got COVID on the job? I mean, somebody could have got it at the grocery store and they weren't working. So then is it considered workers' comp? Like, how do they figure that out?
Exactly. So the causation issue of where you contracted the COVID from. So like this emergency order that just came down from the Illinois Workers' Compensation Commission says that it's going to be a rebuttable presumption that the COVID was contracted from work. So the employer would still have a defense to say that you did not get your COVID from working, but they would have to prove the other way that you didn't get the COVID from working. So that providing the rebuttable presumption, that basically, that causation issue was trying to be resolved by the commission, so there wouldn't be arguments over that.
That one is a tough one because I'm immediately thinking of the real life example that just happened with Instacart. Instacart employees saying that they needed PPE and the company was not providing PPE at one point, but a lot of people still had to work. So it sounds like exactly what you're talking about.
Right. This gig worker economy, that's a totally separate issue, which once we get past this COVID crisis, for me, somebody that represents injured workers, the gig economy is something that government should be addressing, because we basically made people independent contractors and not employees in many industries. And now that we see like a national or worldwide crisis like we have, where we need to know that people have health care and other type of benefits that they need in a time of crisis, the gig worker economy, where we're calling people independent contractors and not employees, is just not good for people. And ultimately, I'd hope that, there'd be some legislation on that makes gig workers, considered employees for a lot of the laws that we have.
A lot of people obviously are experiencing these things right now. This is not a future problem, months from now sort of thing. There are people right now that need help. Are you taking calls even though the courtrooms aren't open? Are you starting to work on some cases? And if so, what is the best way for people to reach out to you guys?
Yeah, my office is really great. The people that work with me, I don't think, there's a better staff, whether in a law firm or any other company than mine. Everybody can call me at 312-6000000, which is 600-0000. But basically,
just keep hitting those zeros.
Yeah, just keep it in those zeros. Exactly. People in my office, we're trying to help out. So we're splitting days. So a lot of people either come into the office 2 days a week or 3 days a week, so that not everybody is working on top of each other, sharing time. But basically all our clients can contact us at any time. We're always available. We're actually taking in a lot of new business during this time. We're actually getting a lot of telephone calls about people asking about the COVID crisis. We're getting a lot of people that are asking us about what the rights and benefits are at this time. And surprisingly, routine things like auto accidents, trucking accidents, those types of things, for people, they're still on the road going to the grocery stores, so on and so forth. We're still getting a lot of the day-to-day type of injury cases that we always see.
That's great. Howard, thank you so much for stopping on by, and good luck to you and your team, and thanks for all your hard work.
Thanks very much for having me today.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Howard Ankin, always there for you, especially if you are in those situations where you can't navigate those legal fields by yourself, wouldn't even know where to start. You start with Howard there.